My great-great-grandparents came here 152 years ago in the year 1872, and in January of 1878, a Spanish ship called the Providencia ran aground, and amongst the cargo were 20,000 coconuts being transported from the Caribbean back to Europe, and my family and two other families planted those all over the Barrier Island. The following decade, Henry Flagler put a railroad into southeast Florida and created a town which took the name of the post office, the town of Palm Beach, and simultaneously created a town due west of Palm Beach, which, not very creatively, he called West Palm Beach.
When Palm Beach in particular was being developed by Henry Flagler, there were a lot of construction projects going on. There were laborers needed to build homes, fabulous hotels. The area of town where the laborers lived was called the Sticks. As the story goes, there was a carnival hosted over in West Palm Beach.
And while the people were gone to the carnival, the Sticks was burned down.
Those folks settled in several places. The historic Northwest neighborhood, Pleasant City, which is to the northeast of downtown.
West Palm Beach was founded as part of Henry Flagler's railroad system that came all the way down the east coast of Florida and settled communities throughout, and really was that first step into the growth of Florida.
And he had platted downtown West Palm Beach. It was a 48-block section of downtown West Palm that he'd approved for businesses and commercial and residential use to actually support his hotel. And most of the businesses moved to West Palm, including my great-great-grandfather, who moved his business from Palm Beach to Clematis Street.
My grandfather came to South Florida in 1912. He decided to start a hardware store. And then as the town grew, he kind of changed it and made the store into more of a general store as the people's homes were getting more comfortable.
One of the things that kind of shaped the character of West Palm Beach being a city, in 1916, now known as the historic courthouse, was built and expanded in the 20s and 30s.
We quickly were growing as a community. We had a land boom in the early 20s, caused the population of the city of West Palm Beach to quadruple in the 5 years between 1920 and 1925.
And things went really, really well until we had a horrible hurricane here.
Downtown was devastated by the hurricane of 1928. 3,000 people died. Downtown West Palm Beach just was flattened. And there was this sense of trying to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps.
Then the bottom fell out. The land boom busted, the Great Depression set in, and we suffered through the Great Depression actually longer than the rest of America. West Palm Beach was hit by a massive hurricane in 1928 that was devastating. As we tried to dig our way out of that, there was a run on the banks, and we entered the Great Depression, dragged the rest of America down with us in 1929, and we really only came out of the Great Depression after World War II. I think World War II helped us out of the Great Depression because a lot of things that we know in Palm Beach County, such as our airport, was requisitioned by the federal government. Breakers Hotel in Palm Beach was an Army hospital. So all of these soldiers, sailors, and Marines, airmen came to Palm Beach County. Coincident with that was the Eisenhower administration in the 1950s built the federal highway system so people could get around the country faster and easier. And then maybe the most important piece or ingredient in this was the advent and widespread use of air conditioning. So we exploded after World War II. Our historic Main Street in West Palm Beach was anchored by a street called Clematis Street. That's where everyone came to shop and dine for decades.
Once a week or every other week, we'd go downtown to shop at Burdine's, maybe even go to the library.
All my friends would get on the bus, ride the bus downtown, and meet up for lunch, do a little shopping, and then meet all our boyfriends.
Clematis Street had been the historical main street in West Palm Beach. The opening of the Palm Beach Mall basically drove all the traffic out of Clematis Street and killed the businesses. That was part of what started the exodus coming out of downtown.
At that time, my father and several other men got together and decided, what are we going to do? They went to the mayor and got a private tax districting area called the Downtown Development.
The Downtown Development Authority was created as a tool to shore up the downtown district against that disinvestment.
It's formed as a taxing authority to take money and improve the downtown area within a certain district for businesses and residents. Everybody had different problems. Everybody had different issues. Some neighborhoods needed more police protection. Some neighborhoods needed code enforcement. Neighborhoods are the fabric that hold the city together. With no neighborhood associations here in West Palm Beach, the first thing we had to do was start setting up neighborhood associations. A neighborhood association is a group of people who have joined together to basically work on improving the quality of life in their neighborhoods. We lobby petitions for the city to fix potholes, fix sidewalks, that kind of thing, which they do, and work towards common goals and common causes.
So in the late 80s when I moved here, you could shoot a gun down Clematis Street in the middle of the day and nobody would know it. Downtown was a deserted place where there was not a lot of life.
Crime is going up, traffic is terrible. There's nothing good happening down here. As a matter of fact, the school board was looking at closing the coastal schools. The resource that we had was something that nobody else had, our waterfront. We had a great waterfront, and so we started Sunfest. Sunfest is our annual waterfront festival. It started out as jazz, food, and juried sidewalk art show. And by 1985, you were seeing 50 to 100,000 people coming here to the waterfront. And it was within a couple of years after that, by 1986, 87, that you started seeing serious reinvestment coming from the private sector back into downtown. And I will credit Sunfest with being the single decisive factor in bringing West Palm Beach back to what it was, starting it on that journey to get it back to here.
So in the 90s, Dreyfus School of the Arts, that was a very wonderful educational jewel that was really just put in place in our downtown area that helped shape downtown West Palm Beach in the 90s. And at the same time period, the Kravis Center came here, a wonderful cultural outlet for the performing arts. And that helped put downtown West Palm Beach on the map.
So the Kravis Center, originally that wasn't supposed to be in West Palm Beach. That was slated to be out at Palm Beach State College. They had already designed the facility and had already had the groundbreaking, but egos got in the way. Pat Pepper was mayor after me, and she came to us and said, I think we can get the Kravis Center to downtown. And we said, okay, go get it. And before anybody knew anything different, the Kravis Center had now committed to be downtown West Palm Beach.
The development of the Kravis Center encouraged the development of 62 contiguous vacant acres, which became City Place.
That was also an old residential commercial neighborhood that had just really gone bad. But at that point, David Palladino and Henry Rolfs had formed a secret set of LLCs to secretly buy up all the property. It's now City Place.
They went in and demolished a lot of the old dilapidated structures in that region, but that was really the predecessor to what is now known as City Place.
And the vision was to create a downtown destination, which would be a live, work, play district. So with this combination of live, work, play density, culture, public space, public art, and transportation connectivity, it sets up City Place to be one of the most exciting, dense urban locations in the country. So with that evolution, we've seen new retailers, new restaurateurs, new residential office and hotel density, which has added to the dynamism of this neighborhood.
City Place has been a great economic opportunity for West Palm Beach. And the challenge always has been the synergy between the downtown and City Place, which is just a little bit west of the downtown. City Place now is becoming a hub for financial businesses and for people to live. And downtown Clematis basically turned into a haven for the bars. We brought in the Urban Plan Institute, which is a think tank of urban planners. Let them meet with our stakeholders and give us a plan how we could really revitalize the downtown. They said, well, when we came to town, we didn't even know your city was on the waterfront. You've got to open up the corridor so that when you walk down Clematis Street, you see the waterfront. The unveiling of our new waterfront was really euphoric. It was a great celebration. We had thousands of people. We were really introducing a new downtown West Palm Beach. The library and City Hall had been opened, and now we had a new venue for lots and lots of programming. We were now a city on the waterfront.
The city of West Palm Beach is just known for events throughout the year. The boat show, from a privately managed, privately executed event, to our local green market, which is a public event. Both equally provide wonderful experiences for our residents and visitors, but it also supports our local economy. Our local businesses love the events by not only the vendors and the visitors coming in, but also just the notoriety that it gives downtown on an annual basis.
So this robust calendar of events and opportunities for people to do more than just work in a downtown district, but play and live. West Palm Beach went from a ghost town to a host that does the most town.
It brought people back to living downtown. While we wanted downtown West Palm Beach to be a regional destination that can't survive on just regional visitors, we needed to have people living downtown. We needed the convention center, we needed cultural destinations like the Kravis Center, and we needed a high quality hotel. But having those components are what really helps have it become not just a regional destination, but truly a downtown where people now do live, work, and play.
In 1991, a wonderful thing happened for mass transportation. The renovation of historic train station, the Tri-Rail, the CXX lines. We needed to make it a pleasant stop for those who come here. And it was really for working class folks to commute to and from their jobs. So we needed that train station to live up to the rest of the jewel polishing that we were doing.
And in 2017, we also saw the introduction of the Bright Line train, which is a high-speed train that sits at the north end of the neighborhood by 360 Rosemary and now connects downtown Miami, downtown Fort Lauderdale, downtown West Palm, all the way up to Orlando.
So now people from down in Miami and Fort Lauderdale make the trip up here to West Palm Beach because they're curious. They want to see what's going on in this city. The mobility study helped us become a walkable city.
We saw a 67% increase in pedestrian activity. That's significant. That tells you that when you build a great walkable place, people will use it.
Some of the big developmental changes that started to happen in downtown right after the millennia, like Esplanade Grand, 610 Clematis, and Soul at City Center, have all helped to create a residential feeling in what had been an exclusive business neighborhood.
The Bristol opened, high luxury condo, floating on the intercoastal. That was a wonderful project because it brought in 69 millionaires. Some more high-end wealth to lend itself and pour into the local economy. And along with them were a lot of professional athletes, football players, basketball players, who loved West Palm Beach and found it an attractive place to reside in their off seasons.
And the Bristol being so successful induced other developers to build ultra-modern condominiums.
Downtown West Palm is a neighborhood where luxury condos and Class A buildings and other high-end buildings are being built together with workforce housing. It's important to have a diversity in our ecosystem. So the micro unit, smaller space, lesser cost, enable more workforce housing to stay close to where they work and be part of that vibrant community.
So residents started to move in, started to use the businesses year-round, we were able to open more and more restaurants, have more and more public events in the downtown area. And I think that was the genesis for creating what would be a complete city.
History books will show that the COVID pandemic was one of those defining moments in the history of our community. We were paralyzed, people weren't going to work, office buildings were going to become useless and redundant.
We rely on hospitality, restaurant, dining, entertainment.
Our downtown was a very vibrant downtown, so how do we try to recreate or create an environment in which the restaurants could continue to grow and thrive? So I put together a COVID task force to just try to figure out what's the best way we could respond to this pandemic.
When restaurants were told that they could only have 25% occupancy, and that was going to be an economic death blow to them, we said, great, we'll set up tents and tables and chairs for you in the street. That gets you back to 80 to 90% occupancy, and you can survive through that. We paid for that for 9 months for 42 restaurants. All of those restaurants, with the exception of one, made it through the COVID pandemic.
What we saw was our community come together and really work together. And not just business people, residents, volunteers, everybody came together.
Once remote work became a thing, people from other parts of the country realized that they could live here. And I think that was probably the biggest mover of folks relocating to our area.
And so not only a population increase, but what I think history will show is the greatest wealth transfer in American history. We are on the receiving end of that. The smartest, wealthiest people in America have made Palm Beach County, and in particular the city of West Palm Beach, their home. And it's going to change our community forever.
The downtown has substantially transformed. We had built more than 7,000 residential units that have brought new population to the downtown that did not exist before. So now you have people living in the downtown. You have new commercial uses and new activity that makes the downtown a 24-hour community where you have activities for everybody at all times during the day.
We have close to 10,000 people now living downtown, and that's great for the vibrancy and the life of a downtown. There are feet in the street, which helps contribute to the vitality and the life of small businesses.
What has been very interesting about the public spaces in the downtown is now the community is open to engage those spaces. The programs that the DDA is putting together about activation are making those spaces more attractive and more interesting for people. So the citizens are discovering the importance of the public spaces and how they can enjoy it as part of their daily lives.
The Downtown Development Authority has been very intentional about encouraging and incentivizing diversity in our downtown area. Unfortunately, West Palm Beach, like every other city in Florida, was segregated. The lingering effects of that still exist, whether people want to admit that or not. There are still barriers to people feeling welcome. We have been intentional to make it known that we are a welcoming, inclusive place.
I'm looking forward to see the downtown growth and continue its development, filling every empty lot with vibrant new buildings that attract new people and new commercial uses to the downtown. However, we need to be vigilant that the character of the downtown and the public spaces that we have created are not sacrificed by just the development or the growth by itself.
I believe that the future looks really bright for West Palm Beach. My father, who helped start the downtown development, would be so proud and so excited. My dad was fondly known as the mayor of Clematis, and I'm sure that he would be happy with all of the development that's going on now and would know that the hard work that he and the other gentlemen did are now finally coming into progress.
Our goal is to create one of the most dynamic live, work, play, explore destinations in the country. We need more residents living downtown. We need more office space downtown, which would mean more attraction of world-class companies. And of course, more hotel rooms to drive more tourism to this market. All of this is the perfect recipe to continue making West Palm Beach a great city.
This is a place where the median age is much younger than it was 25 years ago. We're now known as Wall Street South, and we are a thriving community where people want to be not just on vacation, but they want to spend their lives here.